Okay, so I kind of promised some people how to make a video on how I installed the Blueseasky DV688 on my 2014 BMW R1200gsa. I received my camera just a few days before I headed on a trip to Montana from Texas, and so I installed it quickly, and I only had about a day or two to play with the functions before I went on my trip. And anyway, it's there's a few things that I'm going to change this winter. Hide some wires a little differently, mount them a little differently, but anyway, I thought I would give you a video of how I installed it. Start out up front here. Here's where I mounted my GPS antenna that goes with the camera. Pretty simple, straightforward. Ran the wire up underneath here. I'll probably tuck that back underneath there this winter. Here's where the actual camera is mounted. I used a ram mount attached to the accessory bar, the same bar that the GPS is mounted to. I mounted the front forward camera right up here on top of a little shelf that I'd made for a radar detector and garage door opener. But I'm going to move that camera out front of the windscreen. I'm not the best at keeping my windscreen clean, and so it creates a little haze on the front mounted camera view, and also at night there's a little bit of a glare on the windscreen that comes across on the video. So I've got it mounted out front here on this ram mount because a couple of things. It's easy to get to. Of course, the card reader is on this side. If you want to take the card out, see if I can place the camera at a good angle here, and say I'm done riding for the night or the day, and I can take that out, pop out the card, take it inside, download it onto a laptop, whatever. Anyway, so I like it. It's easy access to get to that. Can't really see anything on the screen when you're riding. You don't need to be looking at video footage anyway while you're riding. It gives you a good place. Like I just popped it off, I can stand right over here, I can look at it, I can read it, I can make changes to the camera if I want to. The thing that has led to the most questions is how do you power your camera, and this is, like I said, was done in a hurry. This is actually all bundled up and velcroed together and just kind of stuck in here. It's velcroed, it will not come out when I'm riding. I've put about 5,000 miles with this bundle right here, but it's a lot of extra wires. I'm going to try and tuck those back underneath the fairing this winter. The thing is, this is where I power the camera, right here. That's the BMW accessory plug. It only pulls about, or puts out about 4 to 5 amps. You try to put heated clothing or anything like that on it, anything that pulls a lot of amps, it's gonna blow a fuse, or I don't know if it blows a fuse, but it'll shut it down, and the CAN bus system will save it. And so I have two things into this one powerlet plug, one of them being the camera, the other being a relay. It powers a relay that shuts on and off the power to my tank bag here. I have another video on my channel if you want to check that out, on how to run power to that tank bag via a relay. Anyway, so moving on with the camera discussion. There's one wire here that runs to this one runs to the remote. The remote is also your microphone. Cannot find a good place to put that without getting a lot of wind noise. I actually have it in underneath this tank bag inside a little toolbox, or a little, I don't know, little small little compartment they have right there. I have it in there. You get some engine sound, and that's about all I was going for with that one, is to get a little bit of an engine sound. Moving on, there's another wire that comes out of this bundle. It goes to the rear facing camera. That'd be this wire right here. I have it tucked underneath this housing body part. Goes underneath my seat. I'll remove the seat so y'all can see. And here's the excess part of that that's bundled here. Comes out this way and is mounted right back here. I don't have the, I have a aftermarket seat on this bike, a Corbin aftermarket seat, and this right here may be different, or I know it's different on yours if you have the stock seat. This is part of that, but anyway, it comes back here, is mounted underneath the top box. I need to adjust the angle on this a little bit. I get a little bit of the bottom of the top box in my shot, but it's not too bad. It's protected from the weather. And let me see if I can show you how I mounted that on there. You see, that's the bracket that comes with the camera, and I just velcroed it on there and then secured it with a couple of zip ties. It does not bounce around. It's rock solid. It's looks a little bit Mickey Mouse, but it works, and it doesn't bounce around like you might think it would. Speaking of cameras, I said I was going to move this forward-facing camera back out front. I'm thinking I can put it somewhere in this area, maybe somewhere in this area. But that's for this winter. I'd like to get another camera and mount it on that bike over there as well. I split a lot of time between the two bikes. I ride about 11,000 miles a year on long trips. Don't do a lot of town riding. I like to do a lot of interstate, a lot of iron butt rides, and so that's the way my bikes are set up. Anyway, that's how I do it. If you have some questions, I'll be glad to try and answer them for you on this forum or on this Facebook page. But just let me know if I can help. I'd be glad to. And talk to you later.